begging you to rob him.
Yeah, no, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person. Besides his talent, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, you know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Care about, guys? It's money. You don't care about people. Only money. Only money. No people. You don't care about human beings. Go.
As Diddy faces a court appearance tomorrow, unexpected connections to Justin Bieber are beginning to emerge. At just 13, Bieber was reportedly brought under Diddy's mentorship, an experience now drawing fresh attention. Industry names like Usher, Lil Reed, and Clegg Davis are loosely tied to a narrative that stayed quiet for years. Some observers believe Justin's early struggles may trace back to that fast-paced entry into fame. With pressure building around the case, reports suggest he could be called to speak, and may even be seen in related footage.
Was flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. Yeah, rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one? And he was like, let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out. So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager. And was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
At just 13, Justin Bieber's viral hit One Time caught fire on YouTube, drawing Usher's eye and fast-tracking him into the spotlight. With Lil Reed and LaFace Records moving quickly, Justin was signed and placed under Usher's wing. But behind the scenes, Diddy was quietly stepping in. In an unexpected move, Justin's path took a sharp turn as Diddy assumed a guiding role, marking the start of a much different chapter.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah, that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
what
like
a life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Industry insiders say Diddy showed early interest in signing Justin, but chose to stay in the background, reportedly using Usher to build the bridge. Sources suggest Usher was aware of the dynamic, having followed a similar path himself at 13 under Diddy's mentorship, an experience that later raised eyebrows. Despite quiet awareness within the industry, few spoke up, and the situation was largely left unchallenged.
They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. What kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more? Because that's what pedophiles do. They get victims, and then once they get to a certain age and they get too old for them to enjoy them, they send them out to go get other young kids. Now, if Usher is a procurer, and if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him, especially considering that he sat Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for you.
In later legal records, Justin reportedly claimed that his relationship with Usher had a lasting negative effect on his career. Some believe Usher may have leaned on Justin's success to boost his own visibility, including during major events like a Super Bowl performance. Over time, Justin quietly stepped back, cutting ties and moving on from the mentorship completely.
Do you know Raymond Usher before?
No.
Do you know an individual entertainer by the name of Usher?
Yeah, Usher. That sounds familiar.
Isn't it true that Usher was instrumental in starting your career?
What does that have to do with this litigation, Mr. DeKalb? This is just you trying to harass the client.
Before we came back here, you would ask me.
She's going to let her read back the question. Thank you for your memory.
It's true that Usher was very instrumental in starting your career.
I was found on YouTube. I think that I was detrimental to my own career.
Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is. Of course, many people, I believe, are accurately assuming that this has something to do. One element has to do with the Diddy lawsuit. A lot of revelations were made in the Diddy lawsuit. So I'm going to start this by saying allegedly, okay, obviously, he has not yet been convicted of everything, but I knew that he was going to get arrested because after reading through this lawsuit, there were just So many pictures, way too many descriptions. He had hours of video footage proving his claims. I'm referring to the person who initially filed this, Rodney Lil Rod, a producer who went into great detail, laborious effort to basically describe almost a homosexual ring in which people were being drugged at various Diddy parties. But he describes how essentially him being a young producer, they tried to initiate him into homosexuality. And I'm going to read this directly from a lawsuit. It says, quote, Mr. Combs, that's Diddy, used access to Stevie J and his knowledge that the producer, Mr. Jones, admired Stevie J to groom and enticed Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. But then there's a footnote in the filing, right? Because the names are redacted. And in the footnote, it reads that regarding the R&B singer that Diddy allegedly slept with, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. So just let people know that very clearly the name that was redacted had to have been Usher, because it was Usher who recently performed at the Super Bowl, and it was Usher at the time of this filing who had just had a very successful Vegas residency.
After his time under Diddy's influence, Justin reportedly faced emotional challenges that some believe played a role in his later struggles. Recent clips show him appearing overwhelmed on stage, including one moment where Haley is seen offering support as he breaks down. Actor Terrence Howard has since spoken out, suggesting both Justin and Usher faced difficult experiences early on and may still be dealing with the emotional toll today.
I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that?
I think he's coming back out in its own zone. I'm scared that I do feel I'm sorry for him. We're all trying to bombard. Oh my god, I thought a vehicle to me.
Justin Bieber's rep is breaking their silence on recent rumors regarding drug use. A rep for the singer, who shares 6-month-old son Jack Blues Bieber with wife Haley Bieber, is firing back at recent claims that Justin has been using hard drugs. His rep tells TMZ on February 23rd that it's, quote, absolutely not true. His team adds that it's been a very transformative year for Justin as he, quote, ended several close friendships and business relationships that no longer served him. As Justin's 31st birthday approaches on March 1st, he's focused on his family and his music, not speculation about his health, which his rep calls, quote, exhausting and pitiful, and shows that despite the obvious truth, people are committed to keeping negative, salacious, harmful narratives alive.
Young artists rarely find real protection in this business. In a heartfelt Apple TV interview, Justin opened up, breaking down as he described feeling used and left behind. Not just by mentors, but by family and close friends too. He shared a desire to shield Billie Eilish, sensing she might face similar risks, reflecting the support he wished he had. Critics argue that instead of breaking this cycle, Usher allowed it to keep spinning.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and, yeah. So, yeah, I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So, yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Well, considering that the is selling his own evidence that would put him in jail against him on the dark net to the highest bidder. Why would he sell evidence of his debauchery and savagery? Why would he sell on the dark net his tapes of just terrible? Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial.
Is he protecting people, or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
One possible reason Justin stayed quiet for so long might be linked to sensitive material reportedly held by Diddy. Sources suggest this footage involves private moments from years ago, raising concerns about potential manipulation and pressure behind the scenes. Such material could have been used to influence Justin's silence, highlighting troubling power dynamics in the industry.
You have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms. Answer Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
Okay, imagine that wasn't a problem.
You know, I got Believe.
Hey, this is a brand new.
Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, like, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother. Yeah. Like, I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
That last one is really just the sickest, asking a young teenage boy whether or not he's had the sex talk. Like, he's doing a media hit on a radio, and she's asking him as one of the questions, like, have you had the sex talk? This is Hollywood for you.
Interestingly, Diddy might not have been the only figure influencing Justin's early years. In his song, Yummy, fans interpret a subtle nod to the darker side of fame. One music video scene shows party guests dressed entirely in white, an image many connect to Diddy's infamous white parties, exclusive events that have fueled industry rumors for years. This has led some to believe the video hints at real experiences behind the scenes.
See, now you pressing Bieber. Yeah. Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you, ain't answering.
Yeah, that was low.
That was weird. That was weird.
They
did not run through Bieber at that point.
They was pressing him like, why you not answering your phone? Like, yo.
Yeah. Like, I don't got a video of me fingering you.
He wasn't answering for a reason.
He was like, I don't ever want last time because you did things to me.
Justin Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like, there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full buck full crazy.
50 Cent has openly weighed in on the allegations involving Diddy and Justin, arguing that the real issue isn't if it happened, but when Diddy will finally be held accountable. According to him, Hollywood insiders have long been aware of the situation. He claims Diddy has been quietly admitting to his mistakes for years, with whispers dating as far back as 2002.
Two people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, "Are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing."
When all these pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of managing he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher, is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts, man. Come on.
Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Yeah, look at what a beautiful.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher when Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why? There's reasons behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Cam. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading something, Cam, and the kid say after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day.
Diddy wasn't working solo. Usher was deeply involved, reportedly supporting every step. Despite Justin's concerns, Usher allegedly dismissed them, showing little care. When Justin's private photos surfaced, Usher is said to have mocked him, revealing a disturbing disregard. Public conversations around a minor's privacy, especially from adults, have intensified demands for accountability. Many believe that all those tied to these events, particularly in Hollywood, should face consequences alongside Diddy.
Because he is operating completely outside of himself because of his sheer grief and the horror that he was just subjected to, that his mind has snapped. And he's not responsible at that moment for having the kind of logic you would have. Make sense? And they're saying, basically, because of drugs, Diddy was so out of his mind, apparently for a number of years, over 64,000 victims by some counts, right? Allegedly, right? That he wasn't able to do it. Pat's right. You know what this is? This is a Hollywood script they're trying to write. You know what this is, Pat? This is a Hail Mary against the wind in a snowstorm in Buffalo. That's what this is. And it's being called out by newspapers that are like, And the headline should be this, Pat. Is that the best you got?
Yeah.
That's your alibi?
Yeah.
That for a period of years, apparently he had no marbles.
Yeah.
You want us to believe that.
Well, he had some marbles, but they weren't
And I think even the best lawyers, best defense lawyers in the world have a hard time putting a defense up when the evidence becomes so compelling and the stack gets higher. And I think that's what I suspect that's what's happening here. When they have to go to the point that say, oh, he was completely out of his mind doing drugs. Really? Which ones? The ones he supposedly committed in New York? The ones he supposedly committed at the VMA Awards? The ones he supposedly committed in LA? Which ones are we talking about?
Cassie, she plans to testify against Diddy at the trial, and she's going to use her name. So a lot of the women who have accused Diddy are anonymous. They're
Right.
Jane Doe or Victim
Or
1
John
or
Does.
2, or John Does. But Cassie apparently is going to take the stand and talk about her obviously that tape of him beating her up at the hotel is what set off this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, this has just made it matters so bad for Diddy. So now that she is gonna sit up there and like look him square in the eyes and talk about her side of the story, that's not great for Diddy, obviously.
No, and like I think also Cassie is a celebrity, right?
Mm.
Like millennials know who she was or is. She had like a booming career back in the day. So I think it also adds some extra zhuzh when you have like a well-known public figure coming forward.
Trusted public figure.
Trusted and beloved too. So I think that also will hurt him. She of course became public. All of this went public when that video came out from CNN. So it's been revealed who she is already. And now she is not looking to conceal her name. She wants to, put it all out on the table. And yeah, yikes. It could be really bad.
These rumors didn't just appear out of nowhere. Friends, bodyguards, and other Hollywood insiders close to Diddy reportedly knew what was happening but stayed silent. Gene Deal has suggested that where there's smoke, there's fire, hinting that the stories involving Justin and Usher are grounded in real, witnessed abuse within Diddy's circle.
Sean Diddy Combs looking to suppress evidence in his federal trial. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky is back with the story. Good morning again, Aaron.
And to you, Michael. You'll remember federal agents from Homeland Security Investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, and prostitution charges. The defense is also arguing here his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was a willing participant in drug-fueled sex performances called freak-offs, not coerced, as prosecutors allege. This latest challenge to his case comes 3 months before trial, and as Combs loses one of his attorneys, Anthony Rico says under no circumstances can he continue to represent Combs. He offered no details about that decision, Robin.
Okay. All right. Thanks to you, Aaron.
With few options left, Diddy's legal team is reportedly leaning on claims that he was too intoxicated to fully grasp his actions. This seems like a final attempt, knowing that proving his innocence will be difficult. Meanwhile, Cassie's decision to speak out carries weight. She was an eyewitness and appears ready to share everything she saw.